AM 1220 KHTS. Your host Fred Arnold on the Santa Clarita Valley Industry Association Business Spotlight. This is a little bit different. I've got my good friend Randy Word, and Randy's the sensei at Rising Sun Karate. I'm going to say that right so that your wife Robin knows I said it right.
Exactly, Rising Sun Karate.
Known Randy for years. Bought the studio well over a decade ago.
Yes,
and
2004.
I tell you one thing that's impressive, Randy, and then before we get to our guest Kevin, and Kevin happens to be the gold winner of the Pan-American Championship, so we're excited to talk to you, Kevin, but I really want to talk about Rising Sun because it helps develop young people, middle-aged people, men, women,
exactly.
Doesn't matter your age, give them confidence to be great people, give them confidence in their life, doesn't it? It's about discipline.
Right, exactly. We have classes starting at 4 years of age, going all the way up to 60 years of age, and that's our big deal, is our life skill about developing the discipline and confidence in everyone for everyday life.
And that's what it's all about. And one of the most impressive things this past year, Rising Sun Karate took 8 national champions at the U.S. Karate National and Team Trials.
Exactly. We had a team of 8, and we actually came back with 8 gold medals, so 8 national titles in 2014.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Love it. And not only do they take these kids to tournaments, but they're a family-owned business here in the Santa Clarita Valley.
Exactly. My sons work there as well. They're senseis, so it's just been in the family.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Now, we're going to talk about this young man. Step on up. Don't be shy. Kevin Stevens. Kevin Stevens is a gold winner for the Pan-American Championships. Was there a particular style of karate that you won the gold medal in?
Our dojo mainly does Shotokan karate, but we mix in many different styles of martial arts, and we also practice in boxing.
Wow. Yeah, I noticed that. I know
Right.
My business partner Fred Krieger did that for years.
Yes, exactly.
The cardio aspect of that is huge.
Right, exactly. It helps everybody get in weight or get in shape, lose weight, and just get fit to protect themselves if they need to.
Exactly. Give you confidence. Walk with confidence. Let's talk about when you started. You've been doing this for years.
Yes, I started when I was 5 years old, and so right now I just turned 13, so that's about 8 years now. And I've been training. I've been training for tournaments for about a year and a half. And at first in karate, at 5 years old, I started like any other kid. I started mainly for the life aspect of it, for the discipline, for the confidence. And later when I started, I loved karate, I loved doing the katas, I loved doing the fighting. I started getting into tournaments, I started practicing hard, and eventually I got here.
That's great. I would want to be your friend if I was 13 years old.
Yes.
Hey, I got Kevin with me. We don't want any trouble here.
Yeah.
But I do have help just in case.
Just in case.
It's it. My son has the best friend who I say, hang out with him. They don't start any problems, but they'll
They can
protect you.
finish. Right. Exactly.
So let's talk about your experience in the Pan American Games and going there. And were you nervous or were you prepared because you competed so much before? Tell us about that experience.
Well, a lot of times at tournaments I'm very nervous the days before and the time leading up to the tournament. But once I get to the tournament and I step onto that mat and I'm about to do my performance or I'm about to fight, you have to kind of get into that zone of nothing else matters. You're just focusing on fighting the person or doing your best with the performance.
And really, when we talk about fighting, it really is a handshake at the beginning. It is a match, and then it's a handshake at the end. And it's all about that discipline and appreciating somebody else. So tell us about what that's taught you.
It's taught me a lot of respect and sportsmanship, and kind of the fighting aspect of it is very interesting.
You know what's humbling is no matter how good you get, there's always someone out there trying to be better than you.
Yes.
So appreciating that is really important, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. Tell me about discipline, because you have to be disciplined. How many hours do you train a day?
I train on an average of 3 to 4 hours a day, practicing kata and kumite, and it takes a lot of discipline to drive yourself to practice that long and drive yourself to practice hard in those 3 to 4 hours.
What would you say to other kids out there that are thinking about it and not sure, or even the parents, on what it does for these children?
I'd say go for it. If you're gonna go for it 100%. Try not to, go at it at a 90%. It's either all or nothing, and try your best.
You know, it's interesting. John Wooden, you might know who he is, famous coach for UCLA, said, give 100% today because you can't give 110% tomorrow.
Exactly.
You can only give 100, right? And it seems like that's your philosophy.
Yes.
Yes.
Randy, let's talk about some of the success stories you had at your studio?
Right. Well, like I said, just last year we walked away with 8 national titles, and a lot of the kids actually won, triple gold. So that means they won a national title in kumite, weapons, and kata. So I mean, it's just taken off. We've only been doing this type of tournaments for a year and a half, and it's just been a huge success, and we've kind of taken the whole country by storm.
Love it. From Santa Cruz Valley, so important that that you do that. I want to talk about one last thing, Randy, and that is, you talk about weapons, you talk about fighting, you talk about all this, but really it's
really
about learning a craft.
Exactly.
Isn't it?
It's an art. It's an art form in itself. So that's what it is. It's martial arts. So it is learning the craft. It is, learning the respect, the discipline. And when he was talking about the nerves and the fear, it's overcoming the nerves and the fear. Everyone has it. It's just using the nervous energy and the fear to make you excel in whatever you're doing.
And you must have seen a lot of kids that come in scared, fearful, maybe not doing good in school.
Right. And
rebelling at home.
Complete turnaround.
Yeah. Let's talk about one thing that I've always noticed when I go to your gym, and that is the discipline you require of your students.
Right.
How does that manifest itself at home?
Well, I mean, it's just habits you train or habits you gain. So if you're training with that type of discipline and respect inside the dojo, then we want that discipline and respect outside the dojo.
Which is respect for your parents.
Respect for your parents,
students.
respect for yourself, respect for other students. Exactly.
Yeah. So what's next for you, Kevin?
Next, I'm planning to train for the tournaments coming up, and especially next year, I'm going to be training for the 12 to 13 Pan-American Games again. But the way my birthday falls, I'll be 14 before the World Karate Championships. So I'll be training actually for the 12 to 13 Pan-American Games and the 14-15
Nice.
Worlds.
Get them both done at one time. It's like you're studying for a test. You might as well take them as close together as you possibly can. Well, thanks for coming in, ladies and gentlemen. Kevin Stevens, gold winner of Pan-American Championships in Peru. And Randy, thanks for coming in. I'm so honored to have one of your students here, and I have a lot of respect for you, Randy and Robin, who own Rising Sun Karate and Steve Sarancho.
Yes,
well, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed this last hour of the Santa Cruz Valley Industry Association Business Spotlight. This show's Fred Arnold. Make sure you go to hometownstation.com or fredarnold.com to get more information, see the shows, and see great guests like we had today, Kevin. Hope you enjoyed this show. Until we speak again, make it a great day on AM 1220 KHTS. You were afraid I wasn't going to make the top of the hour.